Hey, take a breath and imagine this. You hit play on a track you love, and instead of sound that just fills the room, it engages you, clarity, depth, and presence all happening at once. That's what the LSX II feels like the first time it starts up. Before anything else, check the current price and stock. Premium wireless HiFi speakers with this level of precision and flexibility don't sit at stable pricing forever, and you don't want to come back later wishing you'd pulled the trigger. This is for the kind of listener who feels sound, not just hears it. You're the person who notices when bass feels flat, when vocals don't cut through with warmth, or when every detail gets swallowed up in a wash of muddiness. You knew it was time to upgrade when your current setup felt like it was holding the music back instead of letting it live. Once you experience what true high-fidelity wireless delivers, everything weaker starts to feel like a compromise you don't have to accept anymore. The first time you press play, it's not just audio, it's presence. These aren't speakers that aim to impress with loudness, they aim to reveal. Mid sound rich and expressive, highs stay detailed without harshness, and the bass sits tight and articulate. Music suddenly has layers you didn't know were there, and you find yourself leaning in to catch nuances you'd been missing. Picture this: a playlist you've replayed 100 times now feels fresh because you're hearing subtle harmonics and textures you never noticed before. Or a movie score that doesn't just play in the background but grips you with dimension and space. Even podcasts feel more natural, like voices occupy real space instead of just floating through the air. While you're here thinking about it, take another look at that price. Don't let stock works or odd price swings talk you out of something that genuinely elevates how you listen. If a voice in your head whispers, "Is this overkill for everyday use?" Here's the twist: it stops feeling like overkill the moment you realize how effortless everything sounds. You don't fuss with settings to make things acceptable, these speakers just perform without compromise. One surprise benefit? Even at moderate volumes, the sound feels full and engaging, not shrill, not flattened, but intentional and complete. Only this feels different. You notice it the moment the first note fills the room. You feel it when instruments have space instead of overlap. You realize this is gear built for someone who recognizes quality the moment they hear it. Sound feels rich without bloom, details feel clear and revealing, presence feels natural, not forced. Music feels layered and alive, it feels like something you're genuinely glad you chose. They're not tiny earbuds or bookshelf toys, they reward real content with real clarity. At some point you stop circling back to weaker options. Every time you consider something less capable, your mind ends up right back here, because deep down you already know what you really want. Don't let this be one of those upgrades you delay and regret later. If you're ready to stop settling for flat, indistinct sound and start feeling the music you play every day, check the current pricing, lock it in, and make the move. This is the speaker system that matches how seriously you hear.